So now I'll pass the virtual mic over to Paul Taylor, FoodShare's Executive Director, to close out the meeting for tonight. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you, Sheldamar. And I want to start with extending huge, deep gratitude to both Britta and Ellie for grounding us in your brilliance tonight. You shared powerful and important messages that we should all walk with long after tonight. So really, thank you both for what you've shared and for the work that you do. Thank you also to everyone for joining us this evening. We're pleased that you're here. I want to thank you for the role that you play in making FoodShare an organization that we can all be proud of. Your continued support has meant a lot, especially during this challenging time. So on behalf of the FoodShare team, we hope that you and your loved ones are doing well, especially now as we navigate something many of us never could have imagined. Here we are again on Zoom, thanks to a global pandemic that has caused immeasurable amount of loss. Although we're beginning to look at what comes next over this last hump, we do so as we also mourn what's been lost, who's been lost, and what we've been forced to sacrifice. COVID-19 has revealed what some have been able to ignore for a long time, that there are deeply embedded and pervasive inequities that exist in this country. It's revealed systems and structures that are anti-Indigenous, that are ableist, that are racist, that are patriarchal, and certainly classist. We've taken to banging pots and pans for essential workers, but as a society, we continue to let them down. Some of us already saw all of this, and we saw it long before the pandemic hit. Some of us have lived the painful effect of these oppressive systems our entire lives. For FoodShare, the pandemic has affected almost everything, from the work that we do to how we do it. But I'll tell you one thing remains the same, and that's the why we do it. We believe that everyone should be able to access the food that they need for themselves, their loved ones, their communities, and that they should be able to do so with dignity. As you know, FoodShare is an interesting organization. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever stumbled across an organization quite like FoodShare. Just ask 3 different people connected to FoodShare what we do, and I'm certain that you'll get 3 very different answers. And that's okay. Because what I've come to realize is that FoodShare means different things to different people. And that's actually quite beautiful and part of what makes FoodShare as unique as it is. To some, where the reason that they get excited once a week is their good food box arrives, filled with beautiful fresh produce. I got mine today and I was excited. For others, it's the good food market in their community, a market that always seems to have just enough of that magical ingredient that transports them to their childhood. To others, FoodShare worked alongside them to bring a vibrant urban farm to their community and may even have taught them how to compost. And for years, some have even seen FoodShare as that green apple in our logo, that tiny apple sitting on a desk in a classroom as we deliver justice-oriented workshops and fun food activities for kids. And in some cases, they see FoodShare as an actual little apple, waiting to be bitten into as part of a school meal, or better yet, waiting for that all-important collective bite on the annual Great Big Crunch Day. And to many, FoodShare is a family. It's a place some have worked for the majority of their lives. It's a place of celebration, graduations, marriages, anniversaries, the birth of children, grandchildren, a few divorces, second marriages, and a place of support during times of loss. To me, like all of you, FoodShare is very special. It's where I've met some of the most amazing human beings I've ever encountered. It's where I've grown as a person, and even as a tomato farmer. Seriously, let me know if you need a link for some tomato plants. I think I planted enough for the entire city. It was my first time. To be honest, I couldn't be more grateful for all that FoodShare has taught me and for what FoodShare continues to teach us all. We've learned that charity isn't good enough. Corporate food waste isn't good enough. Treating people like compost bins because they're poor certainly isn't good enough. Shitty wages aren't good enough. Capitalism isn't good enough. But you know what is good enough? We're all good enough. We deserve better, each and every single one of us. It shouldn't matter where we live, where we were born, who we choose to love, how old we are, or how much money we have. We all deserve to eat. We have a right to food, and together we're going to continue to fight for it. Together, we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that everyone has access to something as essential, as joyful, and as delicious as food. And don't you dare tell us it's impossible. because we refuse to believe that justice is impossible. Justice is within our reach, and this team, our FoodShare team, and that includes all of you, is going to help bring it about. I look forward to celebrating the bold steps we take along our journey together. Thank you so much. Thank you to you all.